Hello and welcome to this lecture. Today we are going to discuss the basic pharmacology of fibrinolytic drugs. Fibrinolytic drugs are rapidly lyse the thrombi by the catalyzing the formation of serine protease plasmin from its precursor plasminogen. So first we need to understand that as the name indicates, they are fibrinolytic. So if we divide the word fibrin and lytic always suggests to break down, as I mentioned several times in different lectures. So the prefix is fibrin, so it is so we can compare that these drugs are responsible to break down the fibrin. So how will they break down the fibrin? With the help of enzyme which is serine protease plasmin, which is a precursor of plasminogen. So that's the main mechanism of this drug. This is the very simple mechanism that they are responsible for breaking down of the fibrin, or we mentioned lysis of thrombi. How? With the help of enzyme which is proteases enzyme. And again, proteases, the word is giving you the meaning. Proteases mean protein breakdown. So with the help of enzyme which is serine protease plasmin, which is a precursor of plasminogen. Streptokinase is the drug that has been classified in this category, and it is synthesized by streptococci that combine with the proactivator plasminogen to catalyze the conversion of inactive plasminogen to active plasmin. So the main thing is that how we isolate or extract this drug. Last time we discussed about one drug that are discussing about the drug that has been extracted from the saliva of the leeches, and in this case the drug that is extracted are isolated from the streptococci. Streptococci are what? Streptococci are the microorganisms and they are bacteria. So we are synthesizing this drug from the streptococci, and they are responsible for the combination with proactivator plasminogen to catalyze the conversion of inactive plasminogen to active plasmin. And what is the function of plasmin? So plasmin is actually an important enzyme in the blood that is responsible for degradation of many blood plasma protein, including fibrin clot. This drug is responsible to catalyze the conversion of inactive plasminogen into active plasmin. So when they active the plasmin, which is responsible as a protein, especially that is responsible for degradation of the protein. So what will be the mechanism of action of this drug? The fibrinolytic drug actually they are responsible for breaking down the thrombi by catalyzing the formation of proteases plasmin. As I already mentioned that proteases plasmin is responsible to break down the blood clots from the precursor which is plasminogen. So plasminogen is the precursor, and that plasminogen is responsible for converting into active plasmin that is responsible for the fibrinolytic activity, and the example in this is streptokinase. This is a drug that has been available, ikikinase having available and producing by Abbott company, and it is used only for intravenous administration. This is a schematic diagram of fibrinolytic system, where you can see on the top that is plasminogen, and plasminogen is converted into plasmin, and then that plasmin is responsible for the fibrinogen degradation product or for degradation of the fibrin, especially the clot that will be produced. And if you take a look on the left side, there are various stimuli like blood activators, blood proactivators. So what this drug is doing, if you take a look of this drug, let me draw. If you take a look of this drug like streptokinase and antistreptolase, these are the drugs name 1 and 2. They activate this step, especially the conversion of plasminogen into plasmin, as plasmin is responsible for degradation, especially fibrin degradation products and degradation of the fibrin clot. So this is the conversion activation from plasminogen to plasmin is responsible with the help of streptokinase, and that is the process. And for example, if we need to inactivate this process, then the opposite of this action is to stop this process is aminocaproic acid, which is inactivator. So on the right side, this is the right side, this is the inactivators, and on the left side it is an activator. This is the activator. A stand for activator. This is I, which is inactivators. Then we have another example in this classification as I see that streptokinase, antistreptolase, then this urokinase is another drug that belong to same category. They are also responsible, there are human enzymes synthesized by the kidney. That is interesting that it is synthesized by the kidney that direct convert plasminogen into plasmin. And then these plasmin formed inside the thrombus by these activators is protected by, how it protected by? With the plasma antiplasmins. So plasma antiplasmin is a protectors and that allow to lysis the thrombus within. So that is very important. Then the third drug is, as we see, that antistreptolase, that consists of purified human plasminogen and bacterial streptokinase. So it means it is a combination of human plasminogen, purified human plasminogen, and then bacterial streptokinase. It is in the form of combination that has been acylated to protect the enzyme active site. So what is meant by acylated? Again, this is a chemical, it leads to chemistry, and acylated is actually the formation of the acyl group. What is meant by acyl group? Let me draw the structure. This is the acyl group, which consists of carbonyl group, and R stand for any alkyl group. And if you add CH3, or you can add C2H5, it depends upon the chemical reaction. So I'm not going to go for that details, but you need to understand that antistreptolase is a combination of pure plasminogen, especially pure human plasminogen, and then bacterial streptokinase that has been activated by the acylation process. How the acylation process? It is a addition of the functional group to protect the enzyme active site. So that's the way we can understand this. The drug that is available is urokinase injection. Indication and dosage: it's the administration of fibrinolytic drug by intravenous route, especially in case of pulmonary embolism and hemodynamic instability. It is also used for severe deep vein thrombosis (DVT), such as superior vena cava syndrome, and it is also used for ascending thrombophlebitis for iliofemoral veins and with severe lower extremity edema, and intra-arterial for peripheral vascular disease. So it is used for multiple purposes: for pulmonary embolism with hemodynamic instability, for severe deep vein thrombosis, for ascending thrombophlebitis, for iliofemoral veins, and intra-arterial for peripheral vascular disease. The dosage that has been given, especially for streptokinase for AMI, for myocardial infarction, the infusion loading dose is 250,000 units, or then it will become around 100,000 units per hour. So the loading dose is different, and then after that we need to give low dose of 100,000 units per hour for 24 to 7 hours. Patient with anti-streptococcal antibodies, because obviously it is the source is the bacteria streptococcus. So if there will be the antibodies, especially anti-streptococcal antibodies, then patient may develop fever, allergic reaction, or therapeutic resistance again as well. And why the anti-streptococcal antibodies will be produced? Because obviously maybe the patient suffer from the infection, and then automatically antibodies produced naturally for against the defense mechanism, and then if patient having these antibodies, then patient may feel the resistance with this therapy. Then the other drug, which is TPA, which is L-tryptase, is given intravenous infusion of 60 milligram over the first hour and then reduced to 40 milligram at rate of 20 milligram per hour. It is very expensive. Obviously the drugs is very expensive because we need to extract or isolate from the bacteria, from the culture, so it is not a cheap products because the production is very limited. And recombinant TPA has been approved for acute ischemia, non-hemorrhagic stroke especially, and within 3 hours of onset of action. The recommended dose is 0.9 milligram per kg but not exceed to 90 milligram, and 10% can be given as a bolus and then remainder can be given for 1 hour of infusion. What is meant by bolus? We can define bolus in the form of rapid injection of the medication. Sometime in especially some cases patient needed a large dose, as we already seen that the initial loading dose is quite high, so we can express that as bolus injection, like mean syringe that is inserted for giving one time high dose into the bloodstream, like intracardial injections are also available, especially for streptokinase. If patient is under myocardial infarction or in emergency, we can give intracardiac injection directly into the heart. So in a large dose we can give. So we can express in simple terms that for rapid action, sometime a large volume of fluid or dose or test substance can be given, and we call them this terminology as the bolus. So as we mentioned here, that if you see, take a look of the recombinant TPA, and that we're talking about, that recommended dose is 0.9 milligram per kg, not exceed to 90 milligram, but they mentioned that initial dose will be 10% of the given as bolus, and then the rest will be given as slow infusion in 1 hour. So that's that initial dose will be high, then the dose will be reduced. So we need to calculate the dose of the drug. So this is not related to your topic, but it's just, and you need to know these things, that bolus is a high concentration that can be given for magnified action. So thank you so much for today's lecture. Hope to see you again.